I'm trying to accept you. I don't know why it's not letting me.
There we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
I am good. Hold on. Let me get my headphones on too. I feel like.
I taking my phone into the shower. Speaker is like crazy.
Hello. You know,
Yeah, I can hear
I
you.
think I'm frozen. All right. Sorry about that. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Friday, so
I was going to say, I don't know
relaxing.
about you, but I'm happy it's Friday.
It's been a week for sure.
Same, same. But welcome. And for those who don't really know, introduce yourself and yeah, tell
Yes.
everybody where you're from and all
I'm
that good
Nani.
jazz.
Yeah, I'm Nani Acosta. I am originally from Jersey, but I live in Brooklyn and have been here for some time. I sing R&B as well as some Afrobeat. I'm Dominican and American, so I like to mix in my background into my music to, share who I am with my listeners.
So, what inspired you to get into music, first of all?
So I've honestly always been in the arts. My first taste of singing was when I was young in choir. But I've also taken piano lessons. I took ballet for 7 years. So I've always been, expressive. When it comes to singing, that's something that I kind of took on seriously later on. Once I reached college, I started doing a lot of musicals and performing a lot more than I had in the past. And that kind of
Interesting.
opened up the avenue.
The story of a true creative, because we all, like, I started in the church too, so I definitely can relate to that. So it's been a long journey for you, I should say, right? Um, so what is it like in this for you? I'd like to get everyone's perspective because we all know what the music industry looks like nowadays. So what has it been like for you starting, like when did you decide you wanted to take it seriously? And then what has it been like for you?
So I released my first solo single in 2017.
Mm,
Um, and even doing that was a journey in itself, learning how to write a song, how to record a song, and the whole rollout to doing that was something I wasn't used to at all.
mm,
And just continuously going, I kind of released singles one per year until I consistently started doing it. So I released an EP, and that's when I kind of had a full body of work that I could present to my listeners and to new people as well. But I would say it's been a journey for me, and everyone's journey, as you said, is completely different.
mm-hmm,
So mine is definitely about learning who I am as an artist and then as a professional as well, because there's two
mm-hmm,
sides and
mm-hmm.
two sides to this. And then it's also, being a human being in this climate. There's a lot that goes into being an artist and being a functioning adult. So
Mm-hmm.
I take a lot of time to decompress and really, learn myself and gather myself so that I can present the best me in both professionally and musically as well, and even when they come together.
I'm actually happy that you said that, the professional versus the other side. Which side is like the biggest challenge for you? Because trust me, I understand how it is. So it's interesting to get another take on it. Like which side is teaching you the most lessons about yourself?
Honestly, I think creating is teaching me the most lessons about myself
Mm,
because I'm always like, if I don't have this professional thing done, then I can't focus on the music and creating. So I really have to get within myself and be like, you have something to share with people, or you're going through
Mhm.
a situation. And it's weird because when I don't write, I'm sad. But getting to writing, is sometimes a journey for me. So that's also something I've been working on, is just consistently getting that out.
That's how you know you're doing the right thing, though, right? Because if the creative side is not allowing you to feel like you, like just
Hmm.
free, right? That's how you know, like, all right, this is something bigger than me. I need to be doing this. So yeah, so in terms of like the oversaturation, I don't even want to say that, right? I just feel like more people are being led to express themselves, as they feel. Like, what separates you from that another R&B artist, if you will?
I would say that no one is the same, and all of the music that I write about are about situations that I've been through. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally talking to the world from my perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
as you said, there's a whole bunch of music out there, and I always feel like I don't need to be seen by everyone. I just need to reach a certain group of people that can relate to the stories that I'm telling, and that'll make me happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So leaning into that, do you feel as if we're gonna get into the grand debate? Like, do you feel like as if R&B is dead? I don't. But I just because I know it's not. This ain't my interview,
Yeah.
Let me know what you think.
I definitely don't think it's dead. I mean, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
90s baby, and I grew up listening to 90s R&B. That's something that we all know is like a staple. I would
Mm-hmm.
say in black music. But I would say it's definitely not what I grew up with, but that's what happens in life. Things evolve. But you do see a lot of artists, sampling older
I was just gonna
songs
say that.
or older things that we consider classics. So,
Yeah.
it's sort of like recreating things that we grew up loving. So it's definitely not dead.
It's interesting
Definitely.
the take on it though, with because I'm starting to feel like we're becoming our parents in that way, because when we were little we thought the music was so innovative, which it was. The 90s is the best, well, next to the best if you ask me. But when we were coming up, we didn't really peep the samples, right? So to them, they're like, oh, this is repetitive. And now I feel like
Hmm.
we're saying the same thing, like, come up with something original. I feel like it's just one big cycle, but I feel like you have people that are carrying the torch well, in my, like, right now, you know um it's just very, it's hard to get that original vibe from everyone, if you will.
I agree. And I do think people tend to follow trends,
Yeah.
and what they might think is going to get them more attention. So it's
Hmm.
definitely hard to find more originality for sure.
Yeah. So what have you been, what I don't want to say which song, but what have you been most proud of
I was,
um
oh, I'm sorry.
thus far? No, 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 go ahead, go ahead.
I would say I'm most proud of the EP that I released. Um, Prior to releasing that, that wasn't even something that I thought I could create.
Mm,
As I was saying, I was releasing singles here and there, but actually having a whole body of work was something that I was so proud of. It was a story that I was able to tell people. And that's what I really enjoy about listening to EPs or albums,
mm-hmm,
when artists take you on a journey from beginning to
mm-hmm.
end. And that was something that I wanted to do. And although it was about 7, 8 songs, it still was, my story at that time. So that
talk about
definitely.
talk about your EP, and the journey that you took your listeners through with that, and also take us through the process too, because it's not just recording and releasing songs, right? You gotta prepare for promo, you gotta do all of this
Mhm.
stuff, and then not even talk about the financial aspect of everything. So yeah, take us through that whole experience.
It's so interesting. I had so many obstacles creating this EP. One of my favorite songs is called Vibe for Now. I literally had to record that song about 4 different times, at 3 different studios. So it was things like that that I ran into. And honestly, choosing what songs I wanted to place on the EP, what songs from the EP I wanted to release as singles to roll out to the EP, and then doing videos for those songs as well. So it
Hmm.
was definitely something that I had to sit down and think about and really decide how I wanted to give to my fans and to potentially new people as well. And the finances is definitely, that's like another
Yeah,
conversation.
I totally feel you. Um, and that's also a part that people don't talk about. I think this climate of social media, it makes it easy. It makes it look like you can get up one day and be like, I just want to be a singer, and one, two, three, I'm a pop star. Like they don't talk about that's never been a part of the real conversation. So yeah, I think people will be grateful to know that it actually takes hard work to put your stuff together. So most artists find like particular parts of the process that they resonate more with. And it sounds like I was gonna ask, do you like performing more, or is it the curating that sparks your creativity more?
So it's funny because recently I would say performing more. I kind of was a little scared, I would say, to be on stage or a little more hesitant, but this year I've performed more than I have pretty much
Mm,
ever. So I really got comfortable with sharing my songs with people, interacting with the crowd, and really giving a show that I
mm-hmm.
knew I could. But I also know creating, if I don't have things to perform,
Right.
what am I gonna do? So that's also super important to me. But I definitely don't try to rush the creating process. It's something that comes organic to me, but I am creating a system where I can write and have things more consistently.
So what part, I guess I asked the question, what part makes you happier or fulfills you more?
I would say now, as of recently, performing.
Performing.
Hmm.
Which makes sense. But that's so scary though, to share your music for the first time.
It is, but I feel like you kind of get used to it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because, like I said, I used to dance and things like that, and I always try to tell people that's a different form of expression. Like I could move and like smile and make facial expressions, but me having to open my mouth in front of people,
Yeah,
it's a different situation. So I definitely had to get used to that.
I would equate it. I would think it's like comedian vibe, right? Like, because comedians go through the same thing, but they could boo your ass off stage. Um, but singing is a bit different, right? You have the opportunity to really connect off the jump, the first note. Um, so I agree. So singing live, the mic is on. Like, what are your best practices before hitting the stage? Like, how do you ensure that you have like a perfect performance?
There's a few things. Even let's say a week before, I'll stop eating dairy and like make sure that my system is clean. I try to stay away from dairy in general, but I'm not gonna have like pizza or things like that. If I know that I have a performance coming up, I'm definitely gonna make sure I get as much rest as possible. I know that's not always guaranteed, but
Yep.
just try to be in the best physical shape as possible. And then let's say I also do rehearsals. Um, Depending on how big the show is and how far in advance I know about it, I'll do rehearsals once a week. And if I'm performing with a musician, then we'll also link up and work through that as well. Uh,
Hmm.
but the day of, I try to just be in a peaceful space and then listen. When I get to the venue, I kind of listen to like, how do I say, like get lit music or like rowdy music
Hmm.
to get me pumped
To
up.
get you in
So
the mood. Yep.
so like I listen to dance or like dembo, like really high intensity music to get me in that zone and get me ready to face the crowd.
So what are you a band girl, or are you a DJ? Are you to the track?
I prefer a band. I
Mm.
prefer, working with another musician. And even before I did that, I had people that would tell me, they would be like, I can't wait to see you with a live band. I know your sound would be amazing.
That makes sense. I like live singers as well. So who would you like to collaborate with? And this could be, it doesn't have to be a celebrity. It could be Anybody.
So, I mean, there's a few people. This is, I feel like, very not cliche, but this person is a celebrity. And I've just been listening to them a lot, which is Bad Bunny. That's I feel like it's a horrible example, but
Really?
Bad Bunny.
But listen, he's been killing ish all over the place. Okay,
Yes,
so that's not first of all, I always say speak things into existence. That's my attitude. And second of all, he's doing his thing right now, so I can understand.
and it was just even in his last album, there are certain things like he sampled Afrobeat artists and
Oh,
songs that people didn't even like. If you listen really closely, you could hear it in certain some of the songs. So that was something that really drew to me because I love Afrobeat. I have Afrobeat songs. So
mm-hmm.
he's really, I would say working with the diaspora and created a sound that people beyond that can't even speak Spanish would be able
Yeah.
to, vibe to. So
I
that's
mean, look at
definitely
us.
something I aspire to.
We're singing to the Burner Boys. We're singing to so that
Exactly.
we hello. I get it. Um, I could definitely. So you would tap into kind of. I don't want to clap. It's not reggaeton, but right. I don't.
Kind of.
You,
Yeah.
yeah.
They like call it different things like
Right. I've
urban
never made it.
Latin, like them a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
So you would tap into that side.
Yeah, I mean, I do hear it now in my music, but I would definitely like to tap into that more and do like
Mm,
fully Spanish songs or things like that. Not to single myself to one,
yeah.
industry or anything like that, but just to tap
Mhm.
into who I am. So
Yeah. And so, what's your take on speaking of celebrities? Like, what's your take on the whole atmosphere of like the industry right now? Because it is a place that you're gonna have to enter into or that you're already in. So, what is your take on the culture surrounding like how women are supporting each other? We have the rap girls and then we have the R&B girls. Two totally different coins out of the coin right now. Yeah, talk a little bit about that, or I guess how you see yourself dealing as you progress in the business.
I mean, ideally, I would like to work with other artists who are
Mm-hmm.
similar to me or even have different sounds because that's how you make something great and that's how you pull things out of you that you didn't even know were there when you're around people that, who think similarly to you but aren't, on the same exact wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
I will say when it comes to R&B, I just think it's in the genre's nature to always want to be the best or
Yeah,
you know
but I don't really see it. For me, people R&B artists embrace each other. I don't know if it's just me, but like growing up, we never saw Tamia and I don't know,
Yes.
some Deborah Cox fighting. We never saw like anybody fighting for the throne, but I guess with the heightened social media attention and things like that, people feel the need to kind of secure their place, if you will. But yeah, I don't know if you feel the same when it comes to R&B. I feel like it's a little bit more calmer on both sides right now.
I will say that's because we didn't see. I've heard stories of things in the 90s like happening
Mm,
backstage. So maybe that's just the difference now that, like you were saying, social media and us being so close to celebrities' lives or what they give to
hmm
us, that
hmm
it looks like a certain thing, but it may not be the case.
What what is your balance, I guess, with social and how you handle branding yourself?
So I think recently I've gotten a little more intimate and a little more open on social media. Just getting used to like talking in my stories more, and being more personable. I try to find a balance to give people a little insight into my life, but
Hmm
obviously not everything so that my stories aren't flooded or that my page isn't flooded. But I definitely try to keep it music focused,
hmm
with a little bit of my life so that they can, you fall into a brand. You don't always just fall into a sound. Even when you like
hmm
a song, you want to see what the person look like or what the person is
Yeah,
about because that might deter you from even liking the song. Like, damn, I thought
yeah,
the song was good, but
yeah. I'm cool on her a little.
yeah,
Yeah, I get
exactly.
that.
So
I get that.
I definitely try to give a little, but I try to keep it as authentic as possible. Social media is curated, it is what it is, but I try to, I still come across as who I am.
Yeah, I for sure feel you. So are you kind of open to, because it seems like you focus a lot on revealing your personal experiences through your music only. And that's kind of what I'm getting, you know.
Hmm.
Keep up with me, but if you want to understand, listen.
That sort of, yeah. I sort of keep people tell me like I'm kind of mysterious, but
Mm,
I don't want it to be 100% like that. I want y'all to have insight into me, but still be curious about like what's going on behind closed doors.
makes sense. So are you in that same realm? Are you look in long term, are you looking to remain an independent artist, or did you want, like, what do you see your future looking like, basically?
So it's interesting when I started looking for like a deal or something major wasn't really in my sight, my line of sight, but
Hmm.
now it's something that I would be open to. I think it's 100% possible to get my sound out as an independent artist. I just would have to, fund it a lot more, but I think working
Hmm.
with a major would help a lot more with getting me out there and reaching more people and being able to create in like grander ways and really get my ideas out there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So now that we got all the questions out the way, talk to me about just where you are right now and what you want your listeners to know, or anything really. um what is the world of Nani looking like right now?
Right now, the world is writing. The world of Nani is writing, and working on what I'm gonna do for next year.
Hmm.
I have ideas and things that I have to work out, and I'm pretty much prepping for how I want to start my year in 2023 and when I want to give to my listeners.
Hmm.
I've also been, doing a lot of personal work with myself, working out, doing affirmations, just to really be in a better place.
Me
Uh,
too.
girl.
Me too, honey. I don't start my day without those affirmations. It's like mandatory now.
Yeah, and you know what I've been thinking? I was like, I have a great voice, so I kind of want to start doing my own, and putting them on YouTube or things like that, or even iTunes.
Hmm.
Since it's something that I see is changing my life too, so that's kind of more on the personal side of it. But I always, try to incorporate the two. People know me as like sort of not a hippie, but into my health and my mental as well. So that
Yeah.
is definitely something I'm working on.
And it's always, that's going to translate in your music for sure. So I have two games that you could choose from, I guess, or we could play both if you want.
Okay.
But so the first one is, what's your vibe? So basically, I would ask you what what songs you correlate with each mood, like what's your go-to for each mood, and then I have this or that. Which one do you want to go
Hmm.
first?
We could do this or that first.
Okay, so ready?
Yeah.
Seventh Streeter or Money Long?
Ooh. I'll do Money Long.
Ooh, I've been getting into her recently. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have. I've
Hmm.
listened to Public Displays of Affection, and it is on repeat. I love it.
We were talking about,
Um,
R&B, so I really feel like she's
yeah,
kind of bringing that sound to
back,
that.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah. I love Summer Streeter too, though. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
I feel like she's super underrated. Um,
agreed.
so Summer Walker or Tink?
I would say Summer, only because I
Mm.
haven't listened to Tink too much as
Mm-hmm.
of late, but I definitely have listened more to Summer Walker.
I feel Doja Cat or Lizzo?
I'm gonna say Doja Cat. The only reason, well, no, there's a few reasons, but you too, that's good.
Yeah.
Um, so it's funny. I've been listening to her for like since like 2014, or like a long time.
Wow.
So it was nice to see her journey and see where she's come from and see how her music has elevated and it, yeah, I gotta go with her.
I personally feel like just her talent is just insane. Like to the level like I think she's probably the only one in her lane right now. I don't see
Hmm.
anybody else like not even yeah, let me not even get into it.
No,
Jasmine,
writing, performing, all of it.
yes.
You're absolutely right.
Yep. Jasmine Sullivan or her.
How you gonna do this? You know they got a song together.
I was
How?
like, she gonna get caught on some of these. I know. I'll go after you.
All
To see
right.
if you feel it. Yes.
So I'm gonna say Jasmine Sullivan because I grew up in South Jersey, and yeah, you know she's from Philly, so we
Yeah.
that's the girl. I gotta go with her. And I've seen videos of her recently when she was singing when she was like 6 or 7 at the Apollo, and it literally gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps.
See, I haven't seen any young videos of her.
Girl, she was
I
like
have not.
7.
Snatching souls, I bet.
Yes.
Lord. And I feel the same way you have, but I, I'm kind of more into her music.
I
But
get
I
that.
think Jasmine Sullivan is like, if that makes sense.
I get it. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm with you on that. Okay. It's going to get a little Lotto or Meg?
I'm gonna say Meg. I got a story for like all these artists.
Go.
So I had went to Houston like right before she popped off, and I went to a strip club. And they were
Meg?
playing her music. Yeah. Right
Okay.
before Meg popped off, I went to the strip. I was in Houston, and I went to the strip clubs, and I was like, "Who the hell is this?" Like, the vibe was crazy. So then I'm come back to New York. It's like summertime, and then the sound is her music is just everywhere now. And I was like, "Yeah, she's that girl."
See, and I saw a tweet today that said Meg's come up was so organic. And it
Hmm.
showed like an old performance in a strip club. So it's so funny that you say that. It is so funny. I agree. I agree. Although I think Lotto is coming up to in her own right, but
Hmm.
Meg got it right now. Queen Naja or Ella Mai?
I would say Queen Naja. Um,
We're like music soulmate. Yes.
I like her sound and I like the stories that she tells. I think Ella Mai is
Hmm.
good on like bops and stuff like that, but Queen Naja, she can sing her ass off. And she's definitely a storyteller.
For sure, for sure. I think Queen is bringing that, like you said, with Money Long, like she's bringing that R&B feel back, you know.
Hmm.
So I definitely get that. SZA or Janae?
Ah, um, oh boy, I'm gonna have to say this is a hard one. I'm gonna have to say Janae.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to say Janae. Um,
I couldn't pick.
you you couldn't pick. How you do that?
um, dang, I don't know. Like I just have such a love thing with SZA. I did see her live, but I've heard that Janae's live experience is like unmatched.
Incredible. Hmm.
I just haven't had a chance to see it yet. So yeah, it's a hard one. But how do you feel?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say Janae. I think they're super similar. They do a lot
Hmm.
of like internal work. Their music sets a certain vibe. They also tell stories through their music.
Yeah.
The only reason I would say Janae is I remember she released like that poetry book,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
each of the poems were like aligned with different chakras, and it was just I was like, she's really going in.
Deep. And
So
I heard
yes.
she uses like these when she's curating her music or whatever musician she works with, they use special I don't even want to reference it wrong, but like special instruments for
Mm-hmm.
specifically for that I've heard.
Wow.
So I'm like, you ever listen to her music and you just feel like you have to put it on repeat? Like it's just so enchanting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah. Okay, so last one, and this is like just the fun one. Fab or Jadakiss?
Oh boy. Um, I'm gonna say this. I would say I like Fab's music more, but I think Jada got it when it comes to talent, and like bars.
I never heard a more perfect answer. That is absolutely accurate. I agree.
Yeah. I don't
I
know
did
why,
you
but that's
wrong.
just what it is.
I did you wrong because when I did these, I'm like, damn, I don't even know honestly, but that was a perfect answer. Um, so just for your listeners or new listeners to get to know you better, I guess we could put together a little playlist right now.
Okay.
And you can tell me kind of like the what's the vibe, right?
All right.
So when I mention the mood, let me know what's your go-to song for that, or what's your go-to. I guess you could do albums too.
Okay, so is anybody or is it my music?
I kind of want it to be your music.
Okay, I can do that.
Which one do you want? Let's go
I'll
with
do my
what you want.
music since
Okay.
that'll give people, an idea of the
Yep.
vibe. Yeah.
Okay, and then you can give a little, like, let us know what each song is about or each project is about.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
So when you're happy, what's the vibe?
When I'm happy, I would say the vibe is "Make Your Move." That's actually an Afrobeat song, and
Mm.
it's basically about my night out and having a good time. And it was my first Afrobeat song, so
Friday
I be
mood.
like,
Love it. When you are calm, what's the vibe?
I have a song called "I'm Good."
Mm.
um, so I actually wrote that in 2020 when we were all going crazy. So
Perfect time.
yeah. And what I basically talk about in the song is how there's so much going on, but in a weird way, I was like progressing and doing well in life.
Hmm.
So it kind of was like, people gonna be jealous, people gonna spew hate, but when you're true to yourself, they really can't relate. So it's just like, yeah.
Okay. When you are feeling motivated, what's the vibe?
When I'm feeling motivated, I have a song. Uh, Wait, now I'm like going through.
Hi, Raven.
Yeah, hey, Raven. I have a song called Dime. It's called Tell Me, Dime slash Tell Me. That's like the English translation. That
Hmm.
one, it's more of not a love story, but it's me talking to a person and saying, "Tell me what to do, and I'll be there for you."
Oh,
Yeah, so
yes. I love that.
that kind
Well,
of give me in the vibe.
okay, so can that be for when you are feeling loved or loving? What's the vibe?
I have a song called Vibe for Now. That's actually one of my favorites. Um,
Love it.
so that one, I would say it has more of like a sexual energy, but I'm not like talking about, oh, we getting it
Right.
in. But it's basically the chorus is like vibe with me, take your time with me, we hella high, and it's exciting. So that's sort of like two souls coming to one, and we on the same plane.
And which leads me into when you are feeling grateful. What's the vibe?
Grateful. Sitting sideways. That was the
Mm.
first. It was the first single I ever released. The first song I ever wrote, and it was about basically a failed relationship and how he took me to like a very dark place. But in the end, I ended up coming out so much better, and in a much better place. So that sort of was like my intro to me being good, sitting on the
I
side.
love it. I love it. And I'm sure I'm sitting here like, listen, girl, I can relate. Um, but we're not gonna go there today. Um, When you are feeling sad, what's the vibe?
When I'm feeling sad, no, it's crazy. I don't have any. Well, actually, I do have a sad song. It's called My Mind.
Mm.
Um, when it sort of was a situation when I got hurt, and the lyrics are, "Please leave my mind. Like I don't want to
Mm.
think about you anymore. I
Mm.
did a lot. I put in a lot, and I can't do anything but think about you. So
I think
please
we've
leave my
all been
mind."
there, right?
Yes.
Yes. I'm sure we've all, as women, had those moments where I just do not want to think about him anymore. God, please take him
Hmm.
away.
And
I love
doing your
it.
affirmations is all that. If you think about something,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's in the back of your mind, it's still gonna be
Mm-hmm.
present.
Yep.
So
I'm there. So when you are feeling anxious, what's the vibe?
anxious. Hmm. So I think I'm gonna go outside of my music.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm feeling anxious, I kind of like to listen to like soothing music. Um,
Mm.
um, Sometimes it might not even be music with sounds. I just need like something that's gonna calm my spirit.
Yep.
I'm like super sensitive to frequencies and sound. So if I
Yeah.
have a lot of anxiety, I definitely need to listen to something, maybe even like water sounds. For some reason, water keeps
Mm.
me very calm.
So
Like
like
I
would you get like a sound machine?
maybe I
Yeah.
honestly I have like the app that does the water sounds, and sometimes I put my
Mm.
shower on and leave it on for a little too long because I just it goes into the back of my mind and it's like something that's just there. So that definitely the water sounds. That's something common for me.
You're so right. I was listening to one kind of affirmation video and the instructor was on the beach, but something about that video with the waves is
Hmm.
so much easier to kind of like zone out and just meditate. But everybody that's listening, take a moment, do your meditation, do your affirmations before, middle, and the end of the day to
Whatever
keep
you
yourself
need.
thinking whatever you need. But yes, that's all I had. But what you can do is please send me those songs so that we
Yes,
can list them on the website so people can have an avenue to check you out.
I'll
And yeah, thank
definitely
you
do
for
that.
joining me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Of course, of course. Anytime, let me know. And I'll be keeping up with you for sure.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, bye.
Bye.